Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Silicon Oasis Spotlight. We are stoked to have here today.
My name is Aryash. I'm a founding engineer in a company called Binsir, and what we do is we make a software that makes home inspections for home inspectors.
That sounds like such a great one for Arizona, Aryash, but would love to hear first about your background. What got you to wanting to do that?
Yeah, sounds good. Clearly I did not wake up and be like, yo, make a home inspection software. I started coding. No, I did not. I did not. I wish though, but I did not. But yeah, I started coding when I was like 14, back in India. And, at 16, I was like, I want to move to US.
You started at 14?
Yeah, I started out at 14.
Is there a first project that got you into it at 14, or why at 14 specifically?
I don't know. I feel like, I was mainly, playing into games, video games and stuff. And I was like, I was playing GTA 4 at that time, or GTA 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can I make this next version of it? And,
Really?
yeah, I was that naive.
No, that's great, right? I mean, GTA 5 to 6 is taking an eternity, so you're like, I'm gonna do Thanos, right? I'll do it myself. So
Exactly. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make GTA 6.
That's crazy,
I went
Aryash.
into like learning programming and stuff, and that's how I got intro to programming. GTA 6 never happened because that was too difficult for me as a teenager.
a little bit.
Yeah, a little too difficult, But that's how I got started into programming at 14, and then
That's nuts.
yeah. So with games, usually what happens is all of the maps are based out of America.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, I want this country looks cool. I want to move there.
Yeah.
So at 16, I was like, my parents could not afford my US education because we come from a middle class family.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can I make money? So that's how I got basically into entrepreneurship and startups. And that's that's how we kind of worked. I started selling like software solutions, so like MVP as a service, kind of like that. And what we would do is like we would
That's
make
crazy, dude.
yeah
Really?
we would make
You were
like,
16?
yeah, I was 16, and we would make like MVPs for startups.
Bro, okay, so I'm not gonna cut you off, but I will.
Yeah.
Just 30 seconds. This is why I love doing this podcast. A lot of the times I'll meet founders, and since events are such a fast occasion, I'll get, a little bit about what they're building, and then that's it, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, hey, do you want any VCs? And I'm like, I'll let you know. And I do if I do. That fits. But the background stories of a ton of founders are phenomenal.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, I wanted to make GTA 6. So I started selling MVP as a service at 16.
Yeah.
I was like, that's nuts, Aryash. Props, continue. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So yeah, at 16, I was like, I was gonna reach out to all these entrepreneurs and be like, hey, if you wanna make your own software, and you don't have to hire people from, whatever, work and stuff.
Yeah.
And I kind of made a portfolio of myself and made a team to do all of that. So we were like MVP as a service, and we used to call that CTO, like your fractional CTO, kind of.
Gotcha.
So we would take like $5,000 a month and develop your product in 2-3 months, and that's how I made like 200K revenue.
Yeah.
And yeah,
16.
yeah, at 16.
Nice.
So that's how I kind of came to the US, and then tried and then tried a lot of things and ended up on this.
Aryash, when I was 16, I was in high school, right? Yeah. And I sold sandwiches because my school cafeteria was charging at the time. Bro, it was literally $3. It was $5 for a slice of Little Caesars pizza and like a Gatorade.
Okay.
And a Little Caesars pizza when I was in high school 12 years ago.
Yeah.
The whole pizza was $5. Yeah, so I was like, whoa, I can make some money off of this. I can promise you I was not selling MVP as a service making 200K at that time. So that's awesome, dude. Which I guess leads me to my next question, right?
Yeah.
14 video games to MVP as a service, which I'm sure you saw a lot of cool software that you had to build and deploy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Was there a favorite project that you worked on during that time?
Yeah, so we worked on this with this restaurant called Wicked Maine Lobster in California, and they had like 6 restaurants, so they would need like a project, like a food ordering app and a website, and a website to manage those branches, and an admin app to kind of manage everything else. So it was a great project. It took like 6 months. Alex from Wicked Made Lobster is my great friend, so that's cool.
That's, again, you say it so casually, but it's so impressive to me. Awesome. That said, how did all of those projects culminate to you saying, I need to be on the home service side of things?
Yeah, so I was like looking for internship kind of roles, because I was like, I need to make money here as well, and I was like, how can I have a kind of like a learning experience in my field. So I was like looking for internship in the summers, and I got into this company called Butler, and that's what we actually pivoted from, is like Butler. So Butler was basically, we would take over your house as a home maintenance company, because you as a house owner, you don't have to reach out to plumbing guys and roofing guys for small issues. So we would have our own vendor network, and that's how we would be like, for $200 a month, we will give you a one-stop shop for all your home repairs and stuff. And that's how we created our own private vendor network. But the problem with that was, it did not had a lot of stickiness to the business.
Gotcha.
So, and we acquired like,
In terms of customer adoptions?
customer adoptions.
They would use it often, there wasn't as much as you would have liked.
Yeah, the usage was not that frequent. We had like 30 customers, and we made them like a app to send orders in, and we did not get a lot of orders.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Right, because it's like the homeowners are like busy in their in like own life, and they don't care about it.
So you knew it was needed.
Yeah.
You knew they would pay for it.
Yeah.
You just needed to find a way for the frequent use to grow and scale. Okay, gotcha.
Exactly, but we could not find it. We could not crack the code with that strategy. But we found a pattern with that. A lot of these house owners, when they were sending us the jobs, they kept referring back to the inspection, the home inspection that they initially got. And these homeowners, they have a kind of like a behavior where they would just knock off few items on their home inspection reports every year or so.
Gotcha.
So we were like, can we automate that, so our it would be easier for our customers to send jobs. So I made like in 1 week I made like a scraping tool that would read off like 120 pages of your inspections, and extract every line item, every item that every repair that has to be done, and which is important, and categorize them, generate instant estimates as well. Just because we talked to this home insurance company and we got their data, and turns out the real estate agents love that.
Huh.
Yeah.
You found the customer you didn't know you needed.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, real estate agents love that, and in the next 3 months we signed up like 600 real estate agents. But then we came up to another problem. The real estate agents loved that, but still the product was not sticky, just because they would come across an inspection report like once a month.
Yeah.
And
that sounds so frustrating, where you're like, people are buying this.
Yeah.
How do I make it stick?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like the problem that they were facing was not frequent enough, And
Right. Huh.
yeah. And as an entrepreneur, you need some like high frequency users, just because those users can be your product managers, for your company, who are guiding you. But if they don't care about the problem, you won't receive any feedback.
Correct.
So we were like, what is the next audience that comes across home inspections more than real estate agents? And the natural answer for that was home inspectors. How can we help them? Where's the problem?
Okay, yeah. If real estate agents are meeting with the home inspectors once a month, the home inspectors are meeting with real estate agents far more often.
Oh yeah.
So you went the inverse, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that you laid out the journey. You went from, look, this is what we were doing, to pivot to this, where you focus on the home inspectors. How long, months wise, was that timeline?
It was a year, actually.
A year? Okay, nice.
Total, but yeah, I think it was 15 months. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. I love that you're laying it down, because a lot of people talk about growth in their companies.
Yeah.
And they just say, out of nowhere, we made a couple pivots and now we're at 1 million ARR.
Yeah.
And that's great, right? We always celebrate that.
Yeah.
But I think very few people focus on the pivots they made, and then the thinking that went behind each one.
Yeah.
I think anyone listening to this podcast right now would appreciate the fact that you said, hey, yeah, someone bought it, but they didn't use it.
Yeah.
And then someone else bought it and they still didn't use it.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you breaking that down, honestly, because we've lived it on the inked greetings side of things. I do the inked greetings for my full time, which I think, again, I always brag about them being the next unicorn. But you see that. And then if you haven't done it before, it's concerning, right? If you see customers and you're like, nice, this is where my bread and butter is, and it's not sticking, you're like, oh no, what's the next one? So I'm sure a lot of founders are relating to what you said.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the key is to make the business sustainable, and to have the business sustainable is like to have happy customers. Otherwise, you are just running a kind of like one-off product that's gonna die eventually, just because people are not using it and it's not sticky enough. But I mean, that's how we kind of got into this, was like home inspections. And we have partnered with this company called Lesson, which is like a $5 billion company based in Arizona. And we are like the first residential partner to Lesson. And what they do is like exactly. So what they do is like they knock off like every home repair that is in your house, and they do it at a commercial pricing, just because they were a commercial company. And they are branching out to residential right now. And with this, I think like the one thing that people disagree on, the Peter Thiel question is like, what do people disagree, like what do you disagree on that most people agree on? I think the one thing that we believe is that home inspections are the best way to target these new homeowners, just because imagine we have everything, the data of everything wrong with the house in one report, and we can reach out to them, and the home inspections, once the home inspection is done, the home inspector is legally responsible to send that home inspection to the home buyer. So
would you say the new home market is a big opportunity? And the reason I ask is because 4 years ago now, worked as a door-to-door salesman doing pest control.
Okay.
It was crazy. Yeah. That was out in Boston. And you would assume that a new home wouldn't need something like that. But the sales point behind of why it was more important for a new home than ever is, yes, while old homes might have structural issues where termites get it, whatever, right? They sneak under the broken bricks. A new home needs protection from all of that stuff, right? So in a sense, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, because now I'm going to speculate. Put on my VC hat, right? So please shut it down at any point. It sounds like you could also have the best read, perhaps, of anyone else in the country on how each healthy part of a home looks like at the beginning and how long it lasts. So let's say basement looks like this. When it's built like this, we expect it to last this long because our data says this. So, to preempt this, you'll need X, Y, Z. I don't know. Again, could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking out loud here.
I feel like, if you can gather data, so if you can make like, with home inspections, it's like you have to inspect everything about the house, and the report will contain like your, the remaining life of your HVAC unit or something else, What if we can just read that data and make it actionable, in the future? We can, because this is in our long-term vision, is to have like a one-place shop for homeowners to manage their house, and that will be shared once they receive the home inspection. So it's like, rather than us creating a new like a way to reach out to them, we are just embedding ourselves into the loop.
Right. Would you sell through the home inspector, or would it be kind of you contract with the home inspectors and then you sell directly to the homeowner? I guess there's several ways, right? And you might not have an answer for that yet, but
exactly. I mean, for now, we are with our feedbacks as well, because we are talking to home inspectors.
Right.
So home inspectors do not want any part of it.
Okay.
The repair market. They just, if they can just share the data with us, and we can give them a kickback with that data, using that data, to use that data. I think that's our main way to reach out to these homeowners.
Love it, man.
Yeah.
Of what you're building as the founding engineer, I understand why it's needed now, but it kind of sounds like you also answered why in 5 years, why in 10 years, right? A home isn't a 2-year, 3-year lease purchase.
Exactly.
It's something that's going to be needed, and the more we have, and the bigger of an investment it is for anyone, which it's probably the biggest for most people in their lifetimes. You're going to need something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Forever?
Yeah, for sure.
For the life of the home? Or?
Yeah, you'll need that forever. And one thing, that people don't understand about, this market is that it's really difficult and expensive to reach out to these homeowners and, get all the data that we have, by just processing the reports, inspection reports.
Yeah.
And, companies like Porch, or something else, some other company would just throw themselves, to get that data.
Right. No, I can completely see that. Off the top of your head, do you know what that, I guess, repair market looks like for the U.S. for home ownership? I have been looking at just real estate reports in general recently.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I'm sure you've seen it too, on X, right? A lot of the wealthier people on X, they're actually discouraging people from buying homes, and they're saying, look, the interest rates and the cost of home ownership right now completely outweigh just renting.
Yeah.
So it's almost even better at this moment to rent for a little bit, wait for the market to cool. Yeah. But obviously that's kind of an aside point. The main one that I wanted to drag out of that was, how much are you saving people in repairs if you're preempting it? Do you have a number of what it's currently like for the U.S. market compared to what it could be with your solution?
I feel like we don't have an exact number for that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it will depend a lot. I think it will be really difficult for us to track that number as well. Like what we are saving, with Lesson and all. Like, because I think Lesson is gonna provide them like a really great pricing just because they were a commercial company and they are passing the residential onto it. But I think like that is something to be seen, and I think we will be calculating that data. But I mean, one thing, since you mentioned home ownership, is like on an average, in the US, if you buy a house, you have to spend like $10,000 a year to maintain it.
Well, yeah, that's why it was
home repairs. Yeah. So I feel like the interesting fact to that is like, if we can like save these homeowners, like give them like a one-stop solution, to a vendor, which is like a company like Lesson, and, which has like 20,000 vetted vendors on their platforms. And, it's like, if you can just give them like a no-brainer solution to that, the homeowners, and just have like a little bit kickback to it, as for us as a company.
Yeah.
I think like that's a great solution to have, and I think that's a great value add to the homeowners as well.
I was going to say, it sounds like you've got 3 different customers essentially as well, even more than that. But just from what you've mentioned, you've got the homeowners.
Yeah.
You've got perhaps landlords who rent out to homeowner or to, rentees. Is that the correct term? I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. You have someone like Lesson who manages a lot of that, and then the home inspectors as well, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like several revenue streams possible.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think like with all these customers though, I mean, our main target is to, first of all, we are like launching our product like next week with home inspectors. Okay. Yeah, because I mean, we were pivoting, and we are kind of, piloting with like our home inspectors who are like advisors for us as a company. And
is there a specific day we'd love to like cover, like help, promote, get the word out?
Yeah, for sure. I think like for now we are kind of like launching our pilot, kind of like test pilot right now next week. So I'll let you know when we are publicly launching. Yeah.
Okay, no, yeah, that would please do. Yeah, go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off. Just
no,
soon.
For sure.
That's very soon.
Yeah, very soon. I think it's like probably next month. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I mean, that's how we. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
I am so sorry. I cut you off. Yeah. You were saying that I had mentioned 4 customers, and you were talking about.
Oh yeah. So I mean, right now our main target is to satisfy these home inspectors. Of course. And we are kind of doing that by making like a AI powered platform for these home inspections, where because I shadowed a lot of these home inspectors myself. Like I've been to like a couple of home inspections, and I just put a camera on my head and
doing the due diligence
yeah,
on the
exactly.
ground.
Yeah, exactly. And figured out how we can improve their workflow, save time and stuff, and figured out we can do a lot of things with AI. It's like, I think like a lot of times people think that like with these AI solutions, people make their problem by themselves and just solve it with AI.
Yeah.
But for us, it was like, how can we keep the exact same workflow, because they are used to it. Home inspectors are like creature of habit. They use the same software 30 times a week,
Yeah.
creating reports and stuff. So how can we just integrate ourselves into that workflow and supercharge them with AI and stuff? So I think with us, like with our company, like the goal for our company in a short term is to help these home inspectors. So right now they do 2 inspections a day. We want to get that third one in.
Gotcha. Something that I like that you mentioned there was making AI almost unnoticeable.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with another founder yesterday, and I liked what he had mentioned actually, and we discussed it, which was I think a lot of people in white collar jobs overestimate AI, and a lot of people in blue collar environments underestimate AI.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
changing consumer behavior, especially if you're a new product with AI, it's so hard.
Yeah.
So by you saying, look, it's almost unnoticeable to them, we just want them to unknowingly collect the data, and then we just make it a better experience for them.
Exactly.
Great, that's smart.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like a lot of times, people, when they are architecting these AI solutions, it's like they would put AI in everything.
Yeah.
And I think like the best way, since like how can we make AI noticeable, is to not use it whenever it's not being required.
Yo, that's great. That's a good. That's a soundbite for the for the beginning of the video. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's like, how can I do it with, like, how can I do the same solution with algorithms rather than AI?
Yep.
Because I mean, a lot of times, if you sit back and think about it, you can actually solve that problem with algorithms.
Yeah.
And think about like how, if AI did not exist, how can I solve it? Because AI right now, as of is like algorithms, if you use algorithm, the result is absolute. It's like,
Yeah.
right, like it's like on point every time. But with
Yeah.
AI, like there's a element of instability.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
Dude, these have been some such great takes, honestly. Just again, I just love hosting this because I get to learn so much about so many different industries.
Yeah.
Which was my favorite part of when I was a VC.
Yeah.
You don't know what you were going to study tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it would drop in your inbox and then you just dove in. So it's a lot easier when someone with the expertise just tells me.
Yeah.
Because then we just blast it in a megaphone
Yeah.
out to the rest of the world. So let me ask you this, Aryash. Do you like being the founding engineer of what you're building? I know some people find an opportunity. Yeah. And the reason I bring that up, right, is the CEO of Inked Greetings, his funny tagline is that he hates greeting cards. Yeah. Which is why he went out to improve the whole experience. Yeah. So, yeah, how do you see that for yourself as a founding engineer?
I feel like, I mean, internally as our company, we have had we had some points where we were like, should we shut this down?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like I had a choice where I could be like, yo, I can shut this down, and everyone would be in, and like I think the answer to that from my brain was like clearly no, because I believed in this solution. I feel like home inspections are the best way to target these homeowners, and the company who gets like most of the the data, hands on that data, can do a lot of things with that. They can do our route, home inspection route, like the home repair route with lesson. They can reach out to home insurance companies and improve their home insurance flow. Be like, hey, you can make mandatory home inspections for your customers. So something like that. They can. I mean, there's one opportunity for roll-up companies as well. If we can figure out a great workflow for these home inspections. The home inspection industry by itself is like mostly one-man bands. 80% of them are like one-man bands.
Interesting.
That gives us a good opportunity for our roll-up company.
Yeah, to take a lot of lift off their shoulders as well, right? If they're just one. Got it. Dude, this is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing everything you have so far. Arizona. You're here, you're building here. Is there something you'd like to compliment about Arizona? Is there something you wish it would improve to help you build your company? You could do one or the other, right? Like,
I feel like Arizona is really big on real estate. I feel like,
right, yeah.
yeah, I mean, projects like Cul-de-sac,
Yeah.
companies like Side.com, and, a lot of these booming, like, big real estate companies are here. I mean, Lesson, our partners are here. So I think, like, it's a really great market for real estate and for us as a company.
Yeah.
Because we can just, if we have any problem with Lesson, we can just roll, go into their office and be like, hey, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So it's a really good market to be in, and since especially if you're developing in real estate.
It sounds like there are a few better markets you could have chosen, given that it's also pretty dry most of the year, so your home inspectors aren't being put off by bad weather, or it's too cold, or we're snowed in, right?
Makes sense, but I feel like that's I mean, for us, I think right now it's a great market, especially, I mean, our partners, our advisors, he's like one of the biggest real home inspectors in the Arizona state. So I mean, a lot of our people who are here to support us are here in the state. So I feel like that's a great opportunity for market for us.
No, for sure. And again, glad you and your team are helping build that here.
Yeah.
Are there any, I know we're coming up on time here in a little bit, any final things you'd like the world to know about what you're building, and just final thoughts from you, or maybe a message that you'd like to share? I kind of leave it open to founders here, founding engineers, right? Founding team, to share whatever they want.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, for us, like Binsir, I feel like Binsir is something that's gonna be really like on the back end. It's like, I think it's gonna be a company which you use, the services for, but you won't realize. It's kind of like Tetra Pak. The Tetra Pak, the founder is like a billionaire, but
I had no idea.
it's like the Tetra Pak are basically like those carton boxes in which the juices come in. It's like kind of like a white label thing. It's like, yeah, and everybody has to like pay a share of something to get the Tetra Paks and stuff. Yeah, and I mean, I think like Binsir is gonna be like the part of a process for these homeowners, and it's gonna be touching them at like certain points, but nobody would be like. I think it's gonna be like making the homeowners process really easier with because it'll be like a one-stop solution for them. And I feel like our long-term vision is to make homeownership really easy.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Awesome, especially now more than ever at the prices that homes are at. It seems, sure, if you could afford one, that's great. But even when you afford it, as you shared, the yearly repair costs, maintenance costs aren't friendly. So it sounds like you're definitely helping with that with Binsir. And thank you for that, honestly. Yeah, for sure. Aryash, where can people learn more about Binsir? Dig into it?
Yeah, for sure. So people can find about Binsir by binsirinspect.com, going to the binsirinspect.com. It's spelled as Binsr. And fun fact, I mean, Binsir is like a tribute to Arizona, actually.
Yeah.
So Binsir is the form that that people use to get repair credit. So like anything wrong with your house, it's like suppose you what repair. I'm just explaining what repair credit is. Yeah. It's like anything wrong with your house. Let's say you are buying a house for $1 million. And there's like $100,000 worth of repairs to be done. The form that you use to officially request that credit is called Binsir. Okay. And it's specific to Arizona. So it's like our tribute to Arizona.
Hey, let's go. Yeah. Love it, man. Well, Aryash, thank you so much for your time, for coming here, for everything that you've shared, from what you're building, why you're building it, how you pivoted to get to where you are, and some of the mission behind it, right? Which is making home ownership a lot easier for a lot of people.
Yes.
Well, Aryash, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Silicon Oasis Spotlight, and we will see you next time. Yeah.